Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, the Kyurem fusions have arrived to the world of Pokemon Go. Today we take a look at Kyurem Black, an Ice Dragon Pokemon with the moveset of Shadow Claw, Fusion Bolt, and its new legacy move, Freeze Shock. 120 damage, 60 energy ice move, with a 30% chance to lower the opponent's attack. Both Kyurems have over 5200 combat power and can win CMP even over Mewtwo, so this is going to be some very fun battles. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and take a look at Kyurem Black in the Master League. Hopping into the first match, leading Xerneas into Primarina. Primarina opting to stay in, and it is on Charm. Now Kyurem Black is on Shadow Claw, and Shadow Claw does not get same type attack bonus, so it's not going to have a lot of fast move pressure, but instead is going to rely on being very spammy. Whereas Kyurem White, which has also released, gets Ice Fang as his fast move, so immense fast move pressure, but slower energy generation. In this battle, however, Xerneas is able to grab both shields, and now we see an aggressive pivot into Kyurem Black. When you think of Kyurem Black's playstyle, think Feraligatr in the Great League. Incredibly scary if you're able to get an energy advantage. Kyurem Black is going to make it to the Fusion Bolt. That's going to pick up the KO onto Primarina. In comes a Zygarde. Oh my goodness. Zygarde going to be hit with the new move, Freeze Shock. It's double super effective. That's a one-hit KO, a full one-shot of Zygarde. Kyurem Black on an absolute rampage. In comes Kyogre. Fusion Bolt is reached. Kyurem Black just nearly soloed a team by itself. Oh my goodness, this thing up energy is crazy. Xerneas is gonna make the close combat and secure the victory, but Kyurem Black did all the work there, picking up KOs onto the Primarina, the Zygarde, and 90% of the health on Kyogre. Xerneas leading into Zygarde in the next match. Safe switch into the Tapu Lele, and this is a dominant matchup win for Kyurem Black. Both Kyurems beat Tapu Lele in all even shield scenarios, because Tapu Lele, the First Nature's Madness, does not allow Lele to Astonish down. So Tapu Lele in this meta shift, I think, is going to see a lot less play. Back in comes the Zygarde, and Zygarde is gonna have to shield, or they're getting one hit KO'd here. In comes the Freeze Shock. That's going to be a full one-shot. It's Melmetal in the back, and Melmetal, ever spammy with double Iron Bash, is going to hit for super effective damage and pick up the KO. In comes Landorus. Opponent has had enough of Absol Train Best nonsense, and they will resign the match. We move to the next game, Xerneas into Dialga Origin. Xerneas going to strike first with a Moonblast. This is the play pattern you want to follow as the Xerneas, because going Moonblast into close combat guarantees you win the zeros, as the opponent cannot knock out with an Iron Head until defense has been debuffed. The opponent massively overfarms, and Absol's more than happy just to take the shield advantage, because shield advantage is what you want on Kyurem Black. Energy advantage or shield advantage, and Kyurem Black with its spammy charge moves can accomplish quite a lot. Kyurem is going to get a full farm down, exiting with energy. In comes a Veltal, and now Kyurem is going to go for a Fusion Bolt bait. Fusion Bolt, big damage, but not enough to knock out. Shadow Claw is resisted, so Kyurem's going to have to throw another Fusion Bolt. Fusion Bolt into a Veltal will pick up the knockout. In the back is going to be Landorus. Not going to make it to the Freeze Shock. I think actually maybe could have got there, but only going to fire off the Fusion Bolt. The opponent, not knowing the counts yet, shields an electric move. And oh my goodness, the next match is against Juka Buka. This is the guy who did the exploit and then I believe was banned for a while as a result. Well, we'll see what Juka can do when he's not crashing out games. Zacian is going to strike first with a hard-hitting charge attack, and we're going to see Xerneas immediately return fire with the Moonblast. We now see a shield and a safe switch into Kyurem Black, because again, the moment you get that shield advantage, that's when Kyurem Black wants to hit the field of play. Kyurem Black now going to be met with Palkia, and let's see this Freeze Shock damage. This is neutral damage onto the Palkia. Freeze Shock is going to be shielded. Kyurem Black farming up quite a bit. Could have made the Freeze Shock, but thinking the opponent would throw an Aqua Tail beforehand, just going to settle for a Fusion Bolt, and even a Fusion Bolt does hit for some serious damage. Back in comes the Xerneas. Unfortunately, Xerneas does actually get his fast move denied here. Palkia, Aqua Tail, not going to KO. Another Aqua Tail fired off by the Palkia. And Absol trained best is going to trust in the Landorus. It's a Ho-Oh in the back, and that's going to be good night to the Ho-Oh. Stone Edge is going to be a clean one-hit KO. The opponent was not able to send in the Ho-Oh into the Kyurem Black because Kyurem Black has Fusion Bolt and an insane attack stat. Kyurem Black, by the way, wins CMP over Mewtwo. That is the attack stat we're talking about here. Both Kyurem Black and Kyurem White are going to win CMP there. And once the Zacian has debuffed itself, Sandsear will KO. All that's left in the back is Palkia. Palkia needs a farm down, but it's never going to get it. Hopping into the next match, Xerneas into Palkia, terrific lead. The opponent is going to need to switch out here. They're going to save switch into Melmetal, and Melmetal is going to be answered with Landorus. Landorus, more than happy to absorb double Iron Bashes, but the thing is, if you give Melmetal a ton of energy, then Melmetal can actually make life a bit uncomfortable. Also, I don't think that was the double Iron Bash animation. Was that the Rock Slide animation? I hope that was not a Rock Slide. Rock Slide is a truly terrible move, and it was the Rock Slide animation. Of course, these battles are not in English, so I am trying to go off animation since I don't have the move names to go off of like I typically would. Rock Slide, post-nerf, is just really not the greatest move. In the back, the opponent has Kyogre, and Kyogre is going to hate to see Kyurem Black. As Kyurem Black, it's a Dragon Ice type. It's going to completely shut down Kyogre. I mean, there's just nothing Kyogre can do here. Kyurem Black also can dramatically outpace it as well. Fusion Bolt into Kyogre, picks up the knockout. Back in comes Palkia. Palkia firing off energy. Kyurem would love to land a Freeze Shock. We have yet to see a Freeze Shock connect onto a Palkia yet. And Kyurem Black at the back-to-back Fusion Bolts. Not quite able to get the Freeze Shock, but back-to-back Fusion Bolts are still going to inflict some serious damage. And if the opponent shields here, they know there's a Moonblast in their future, so they have to let it go. But now Xerneas just gets to fully farm all the way down. Xerneas into Zacian, a familiar lead. Xerneas very comfortable playing this out, and ideally, you really want the opponent to throw their charge attack first, so that way they can debuff themselves, maybe even give up a shield, and then let Kyurem Black put in some work. There's a catch attempt onto a Shadow Ho-Oh, as Shadow Ho-Oh is just getting so dramatically outpaced. Fusion Bolt reached already, Ho-Oh shields, but Ho-Oh, I don't know how to tell you, this is not going to save you. Even with Shadow Incinerates, they only hit for neutral damage. Kyurem able to farm up a ton of energy. Could have thrown, but instead, it looks like just going to build up to the back-to-back, wanting to exit with a lot of energy loaded. Seeing a Freeze Shock land on Zacian would also be quite fun. We're going to see Fusion Bolts, all the opponent shields. They're going to send it to Zacian. They save the Ho-Oh, but oh my goodness. Freeze Shock onto the Zacian. Huge damage. Zacian nearly one-hit KO'd by neutral damage. The attack stat on these new Kyurems is crazy. And the cool thing is, both these new Kyurems have identical stats. So, you know, when you're landing a charge move from either Kyurem, you're going to be seeing some serious damage. The final Pokemon in the back is going to be Dialga Origin. Dialga is going to be hit with the Sandsear Storm. That is massive damage, but this farm down is actually quite scary. In comes the Xerneas and the Peekaboo catch. You have got to be kidding me. Savage gameplay there from Absol. Opponent sees the writing on the wall and concedes the match. Xerneas against Primarina. Is it going to be Charm once again? And it looks like the answer is yes. So Primarina going to stay in this matchup, and ideally as the Xerneas, you just really want to try and get shields down. It looks like there was actually a Moonblast debuff in this particular matchup. Xerneas very happy about that. Hydro Cannon not going to KO, able to make it to another Moonblast. And this Moonblast is going to be getting the opponent pretty low. They are going to no shield, and now Kyurem hits the field of play. Kyurem gets a nice Shadow Claw farm down. I mean, what do you send into this thing? It's up energy, it's up a shield. Don't send it a Zygarde. That Zygarde, oh no, why are we baiting? I really dislike baiting when you're up shields and up energy, and that's exactly why. Because opponents often feel like they have to call a bait, and it looks like he could have made 2 Freeze Shocks anyway. Granted, considering he was out all day in LA playing this event, I'm willing to allow a momentary lapse there. We do see a knockout as down goes Zygarde to a Freeze Shock, but Kyogre in the back is going to be able to beat the Landorus as long as they shield up the Fusion Bolt, and they do. So this, unfortunately, is looking like game over. Kyogre is going to be able to grab the shield. Landorus farming up, now going to go for a Stone Edge. You do need a Stone Edge, probably plus a Sand Seer here, but unfortunately Kyogre is just going to get the farm down and be able to take the win. Well, we learned a very important lesson in this battle. I do not recommend throwing Fusion Bolt baits at a Dragon Ground type. Okay, next match. Terrible lead, Xerneas into Shadow Ho-Oh. We're now going to see a safe switch into the Kyurem. Kyurem answered with Xerneas, and we saw how much damage Freeze Shot can do if it lands. Going for a Fusion Bolt bait here. The opponent is going to respect it with a shield, and I think Kyurem is going to have quite a bit of play towards potentially flipping this, especially with the bait and up energy. It's just in a very nice position. Kyurem doubling down, going for another bait here with the Fusion Bolt. Fusion Bolt is going to be shielded, and Switch is gone. The opponent has fully lost Switch advantage now. There's nothing they can do. Kyurem farming up, going for the Fusion Bolt. Opponent switches out, saving their Xerneas, and we do see a catch of the Fusion Bolt onto Zamazenta. So this would have been a completely hard counter game. If Kyurem doesn't flip Switch, the Ice Fang Zamazenta ends up absolutely obliterating poor Landorus. But now, Landorus is safe. It does not have to worry about the Ice Fangs. And now Xerneas can very comfortably handle this Zamazenta matchup instead of being stuck against Ho-Oh. Can Xerneas go for a farm down here? Oh, it's a simultaneous knockout. Xerneas losing all of that energy. And now what do you bring in here? We're going to see the Landorus brought in. Shadow Ho-Oh hits the field. Xerneas re-enters the field of play, but Moonblast does not knock out here. And we know there's a Fusion Bolt banked on Kyurem. And fun fact, out of the Pokemon in this meta, Kyurem, it's not losing CMP to any meta Pokemon. You basically have to go to something like a Kartana for it to lose CMP to, and that's not typically considered in the meta. Picking up a pretty okay lead in the next match, Xerneas against Rhyperior. Rhyperior, this matchup is a little more neutral than you might think because close combat, it's super effective, but it does not one-shot. Rhyperior can tank it very comfortably, and this is a CMP tie. Does Xerneas want to give up a shield early in the match? Xerneas says no, and it's just going to get KO'd. In comes Landorus. Landorus going to be hit with the Rock Wrecker as well, and this is definitely going to be a game where Kyurem's going to have to clutch in a major way. The good news is Landorus has a ton of energy. Out comes Palkia. Palkia is a big problem for this backline. When it comes to finding meta answers for beating these Kyurems, typically, you're going to want to look towards the Origin forms. Both Palkia Origin and Dialga Origin are going to have very, very favorable matchups against the Kyurem as they can deal super effective damage while only taking neutral in return. Landorus, thanks to the double debuff, withstands the Aqua Tail, makes it to a third Sand Seer Storm. Palkia lets it go. It's a switch out into the Kyurem, and it's Ho-Oh in the back, and this game is absolutely over. Kyurem almost at 2 Fusion Bolts already. First one is going to be shielded. Opponent is going to undertap a Sacred Fire. It's a 50-50 chance at an attack drop here. Can a potential attack drop save them? Fusion Bolt number 2 is reached. Can Ho-Oh hang on? Fusion Bolt, Ho-Oh barely hangs on, but it's just getting Shadow Clawed down. That is ruthless from Kyurem. Not even throwing the Fusion Bolt, just taking the farm down and the victory. Xerneas into Zygarde, a great lead. Opponent safe switches into Dialga, so they just do not have a response to a Xerneas lead. And now Xerneas gets to fire off a close combat, and then look to send in Landorus. The opponent goes down a shield, and at this point, the opponent, I really don't see many win cons for them, even though we haven't even seen the third, because they're just going to be in such a tremendously difficult position trying to get rid of the Xerneas. Considering they're so weak to Xerneas, their third very well could be something like Ho-Oh. And if that's the case, that would be quite amusing, as we've seen Ho-Oh get torn to shreds by this new Kyurem. Sand Seer Storm onto the Zygarde will connect in the back. Oh, that is actually not a Ho-Oh. It is an okay response to a Xerneas, but the Shadow Claw using Kyurem Black is going to do great here. Kyurem, these fast moves starting to add up. Now going to fire off the Fusion Bolt. This is going to hit for neutral damage onto Duskmane. Duskmane barely able to hang on, and now Kyurem can look to try and attempt a farm down. Kyurem is going to commit the shield. Shadow Claws adding up. Opponent able to make it to another charge attack. Kyurem with the no shield. That's pretty significant damage. In comes the Zygarde. Zygarde is going to get a farm down, denying the potential free shock. Back in comes Xerneas. Xerneas going to need to put the team on its back and close out this game. It looks like this Zygarde is on Crunch Outrage, so they are completely walled here. Moonblast connects. That's pretty significant damage. Farming up to 2 close combat should mean good night for this opponent. Xerneas is going to use its final shield, farming up. There's the switch into Duskmane. Xerneas immediately answers that with the close combat. Close combat picks up the knockout, making it to another close combat, and that's going to be game over for the opponent. Down goes Zygarde, and that's a good game. And now some final thoughts on Kyurem Black and its place in the Master League meta. First off, of course, I'm going off of the footage that I have submitted here. I'm not at Unova Tour, so I haven't gotten a chance to play it myself. I will have the opportunity to do so when the Unova Global Tour does release in a week's time. But based off the footage, I think there is a massive amount to like here. Kyurem Black arrives to the meta with a huge stat product, nearly 10,000 in stat product, and an attack stat where, if you look at all of the current Master League meta Pokemon, it's going to win CMP over every single one, with the exception of other Kyurem Whites or Kyurem Blacks. Outside of that, you're winning CMP over everything. I do think one area for concern is if you're playing out strictly even matchups in the 2s. I think Kyurem Black will actually struggle there because Kyurem Black specifically wants an energy or shield advantage to really run away with games. But in the 2 shield, fast move pressure can add up, and its lack of fast move pressure makes it very reliant on landing a charge attack, which is a bit harder to do in the 2s. But we saw this battler time and time again get an advantage, safe switch the Kyurem Black, and it ran away with games. If you know how to use this Pokemon, it is devastatingly powerful, and to me, it arrives as a strong meta contender in the Master League. Its damage output is absolutely absurd, and you're gonna have to learn these new counts, because if you lose track of energy when playing against a Kyurem Black, and you let a freeze shock through when you think it's a fusion bolt, that's gonna be a very tough battle to fight back from. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy watching content like this, please do leave a like on the video and check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And an extra special thank you to the channel members we have here. The support you guys provide to the channel is sincerely appreciated. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.